Dear J. Lark, it's your 5-minute Friday. Can you teach me the basics of portrait lighting if I don't have a lot of expensive equipment to work with in under 5 minutes? Yes, I can. First, you should go join my Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Jessica Lark. You can also just look it up in the search box under Artistic Seductions because we talk about all kinds of stuff in there. But a lot of the people in my group were talking lighting and they're posting images, and they're posting a lot of images that are like this, with this really harsh light, and they're having a hard time understanding why. Most of it's outdoors. First, you're not going to find a harsher light than the sun if you don't know how to manipulate it. So they're shooting them at noon to 2 o'clock when you have this bright single light source with very harsh light directly above you. We're going to simulate that with my lovely expensive ceiling fan. Woohoo! But it's in like the right position. So they're taking these beautiful pictures of these beautiful girls in these beautiful poses and these beautiful locations, but they have awful light. How do we fix it? Okay, so I'm going to teach you the basics. Right now, you should know two things. One, whatever the highlights are on will protrude further than anything else visually in the image, which means basically I'm making my nose look a lot bigger than it is. Whatever the light is on seems biggest and seems to come out. That can be really important for full body shots too, because it works great on things like cleavage, not as much on their gut. So, how do we manipulate light when we can't move the sun or change, how much light it's outputting? Well, one, the closer you are to the light, the harsher it gets. So when you have direct overhead light, or that's just slightly off, you get this lovely Skeletor effect where you get the dark circles under the eyes. And it's not flattering at all. And you're also getting these hot spots on the skin, and because it's directly overhead, it's showing every line and skin blemish that they could possibly have, even the ones that aren't really there. So what do? You either find shade, or you move them away from the light source. Okay, so obviously we can't really move away from the sun, but we're going to work with this right now. So you can see as I start to pull back that the light gets much softer. Now there's not the highlights and the hot spots, right? So what are you looking for in lighting? This is too much. Dark circles, hot spots, okay? When you start to change the position of where I am and where your camera angles are, you start to get what everybody's after, which is called butterfly lighting. Now, butterfly lighting is noted by this little shadow under the nose, and that's pretty much it. It also shows a lot of the highlights and the contouring of the face. So if they have really defined cheekbones, it'll put the shadow right there. And you can see it just a little bit with mine, here and here. And shadows here, it's always very glamorous. That's what you're looking for, okay? Then there's broad lighting. Broad lighting is when you're essentially lighting the broad side of the face, the spectrum of the face. So this little bit's in shadow. This is really good if you have models that have really long, narrow faces. Think like Sarah Jessica Parker, and all the jokes they make about her having a horse face because it's long and it's narrow. This will help to kind of fill that out and add curves. Then if you turn a little bit more, we get Rembrandt lighting. Rembrandt lighting is done, it's named for Rembrandt because he used to paint a lot of his subjects by a window, and it was known for this little triangle of light that they would get from sitting and looking at the sun. Okay? Can you see that? Then we turn them a little bit more, and we get split lighting. Half the face is in light, half of it is in shadow. This is really good for men. I've seen some really sexy things done. It doesn't work as well for women if you're doing glamour portraits. Okay? Then we get to about here, and we're doing what's called narrow lighting now, because just the narrow section of the face is lit, the rest is in the dark. This helps to slim down the face, make it look longer and more elegant. Then we get to backlighting. Backlighting can be really, really fun. I love it for portraits with nudes. I do it a lot in the studio because it defines all of the lines of you. So like collarbones, I think, are incredibly sexy. And like that little bit with the neck, and you can really start to get the muscle tone when they're backlit. See how it shows in like all of it? And the more she moves her body, you'll start to see the shadows change. So when she gets to where you want her to be, that's it. So, let's do it one more time. Ready? This is bad lighting. This is Skeletor. This is better. All we did was move you away from the light source. Beauty and glamour lighting often follows under butterfly, shadow under the nose. Rembrandt, triangle. Split lighting. Narrow lighting. Broad lighting. Backlighting. And we did nothing but just move the model in where she was related. And we did it in under 6 minutes. Happy 5 Minute Friday!